beautiful friends. It's Amanda here, and today I'm doing a hopefully quick and casual get ready with me, which is what I need to do today. It's early. I have some important mom stuff, some important business lady stuff, and I want to feel put together. I don't really have time for a full glam, so this is just one of those real life videos. I like to share these more quick get ready with me type of videos because often this is what I do in my day to day. And I think a lot of you can probably relate to that. So, have some products here that I've really been enjoying. I am going to let voiceover Amanda explain everything because I gotta focus on getting ready. And I know myself, if I sit here and talk the whole time, I am gonna make myself late. So we have some stuff from Salt New York. I have their new concealer that I've been loving. I have some Surratt, some Sigma. We're just gonna freshen up a little bit. It's not glam, it's just a little refresher. So let's do that. Okay, cool.
As usual, I'm starting off with some sun protection. Regardless of the season or the weather, I highly encourage everybody to be wearing SPF daily. Today, I'm using the e.l.f. Woke Glow SPF 30, and this is in the shade Sunbeam. So this is giving me a little glowy base to start with. Then I'm going to use just a little tiny bit of the Yummy Skin Serum Skin Tint from Danessa Myricks. I use shade number 2. I love the way this looks on my skin. It lays really nicely over SPF. It gives me a little bit of an evening out for my redness and my sun damage that I have collected over the years. This gives me a super natural skin-like finish. It doesn't completely cover over those little flaws and spots. It just gives me more of an even look to the skin while still looking like my skin. And this is also super hydrating, super comfortable. It really is just one of my all-time favorite base products. My BK 101 brush is the go-to for applying this skin tint, and it really is a go-to for me a lot of the time, but these two are just an absolute match made in heaven for my preferences in my particular skin. Then I'm going to use the Salt New York Best Case Concealer. I use the shade N13, which is the lightest shade, I believe. This plays so well with the Danessa Myricks skin tint because it has that similar, really hydrated skin-like finish, but this gives me just a little bit more coverage where I need certain spots like around my nose, under eye area, and then little places here and there where I have some sun damage, like on my forehead and on the tops of my cheeks, where I like to add just a little smidge more coverage. And before I do any setting, I'm also going to use some of the Salt New York lip and cheek tint. This is the shade Maple. It's just a really nice go-to for me. Very subtle, has a little bit of that rosy nude type of look that I like to go for all the time, but especially for a look like this. And because of who I am as a person, I will be adding even more of a liquid blush. This is a brighter pink shade from Surratt. I know it doesn't seem like these two blush colors are going to work well together, but the more neutral shade, Maple, really balances out this bright pink to give me the perfect flush.
I'm gonna powder quite a bit, so that's why I went hard on the cheek colors.
The Too Faced Born This Way powder has more of a satiny, natural finish, so it takes down some of that glow from a lot of these hydrating products that I've been using. You can see the big difference between the side I powdered and the side I didn't. So this locks everything in place. It takes some of that shine down, and it also adds just a little bit more coverage. This is my current favorite method of just pile on a lot of glow, hydration, a lot of color, and then at the end, go back over with this powder foundation to set everything in place and sort of even out all of that glow and all of that color that I built up at first. I never do a whole lot to my brows, but especially on a quick get ready with me day like this, I'm just slapping on some tinted brow gel. I'm fortunate that I have pretty thick, pretty shapely brows, so I like to just leave them, let them do their thing. And I'm adding a little bit of this Sigma Renew lip oil. This is the shade All Heart. It's been my favorite over the past month and a half or so. And this is my purse lip color. So I'm going to throw it back in my bag. It's going to be easy to touch up. And this is so comfy and just lovely feeling. Last but not least, time for eyes. Of course, I'm starting with my favorite eye primer. It's the Ulta Matte Eye Primer, and I'm not going to do anything too crazy on the eyes today. So I really want to set my primer with just a little bit of my setting powder that I used earlier. And I have this Surratt Beyond Beige palette. It's very, very fancy. It makes me feel like a very fancy lady when I wear this, and I love to feel like a fancy lady. This is a super expensive eyeshadow palette, like shockingly expensive. The little quad is over $100, which is pretty wild to me, honestly. You know, I am not here to judge anyone. I am never judgmental about how much or how little you choose to spend on any of your items, especially your makeup. I'm a big proponent of the idea that anything you can afford that you actually will use and enjoy is going to be worth it for you. That's going to be up to every individual person. And I really truly think that. I also think that the average Surratt consumer probably is a more luxury beauty type of person than I am. So maybe they're less shocked by that price point. But it's hard to explain how truly nice the texture of these eyeshadows are. They're so soft, they're so blendable, but they're not that crumbly, super pressed pigment type of feeling. All of the eyeshadows in this palette have that really silky, baked texture, but the wear time on these is actually unbelievable. I feel like these last all day on my eyes, and I have, because of my aging of my eyelids, which just is what it is. I'm not complaining or self-deprecating or anything. It's just every year I get a year older, and so do my eyelids. My lids have gotten a little bit more crinkly and hooded, so I notice that eyeshadow tends to collect and crease a lot more than they used to, even just a couple of years ago. But these have a lot more resistance to that. It still happens. If I wear these all day, it's still going to happen. But the texture of these, the way that they adhere to that primer, I don't know what it is, but they just last. They hold out against that creasing and crinkling a lot longer than many of my other shadows. Maybe because they're not as intensely foily metallic type of shimmers like I typically gravitate towards. That very well could be a factor, of course. And then, of course, you got to top off your $100 eyeshadow look with a $5 drugstore mascara because why the heck not, right? This is the finished look. I love how it turned out. It was super quick. I feel polished and pulled together. Most importantly, I still feel like myself, just a little bit fancier version of myself.
This or a version of this has been my go-to just quick get ready with me for the past couple of weeks. This whole makeup routine took me less than 20 minutes. I feel really polished and put together. Honestly, I kind of want to take a crazy duochrome shade and just put it all over my lids because of who I am as a person. But that's the cool thing about this makeup is I could add colorful pop or a duochrome right on the inner part of the lid. Could do a bolder blush or add a bolder lip color, and I can easily switch just one or two pieces up and make this a more dramatic look, more than just my vanilla basic right now, which I like this too. I think there's room in my life personally for all kinds of makeup, and this serves me well. I do have to go to some meetings and stuff today, so I want my words to be the focus, not necessarily my eyeshadow, especially for these meetings, which is not makeup related. But you know what? It can be both. You can wear duochrome to a meeting. You can wear glitter. You just be whatever version of yourself you want to be today. And I may be a different version of myself later. Who knows? After lunch, all bets are off. I would love to know what products you're using for your quick go-to get ready with me's. Have you tried any of the things that I showed today? These are all really high quality, luxurious products that I've been enjoying. I always love to hear what you think about things too and what you're enjoying. So make sure you leave all your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Ugh. Ugh. Dang it, I forgot to put my rings on again. I don't have full executive function this early. It's my cross to bear. Maybe more coffee will make my brain work. Been saying that for years, and here we are. My husband just did a triathlon, and he was like, yeah, about halfway through, I really wished I had some sunscreen on. And I just looked at him like, how dare you dishonor my name like this? Because I am always the first one to preach about sunscreen. I talk about it constantly. He's watched some of our parents go through having like melanoma and stuff removed, and still to not wear sunscreen is just maddening. Whoa, what is that? Shiny. As the kids say, let me cook. I know I had a lot of crazy blush going on, but once I put the powder on top, it kind of tones it down. So now it's like maybe not even enough. Maybe I need some more. But like I said, I can always adjust. My vibe is in a couple hours, I'll just pile more makeup on top of this because of who I am as a person. These Surratt shadows, I'm not even gonna lie to you, they were not on my radar before just because the colors didn't really draw me in. But the texture though, oh, so good. So just like buttery and luxurious. I feel fancier just as soon as I start putting them on. I get it. I get the appeal. I love to feel fancy. Here I am. If you only knew how fancy I am. I've got an erotic bunny mug and I am still wearing pajama pants. So don't let this fool you. Okay, I have a dog, so I try to keep my fancy pants for the very last minute because otherwise I will get Maggie hair all over them because I can't resist petting the dog, okay? There's only so much a lint roller can do. You get it. You understand. I told you I was going to sit here and talk too much and make myself late. All right. I'm not late yet, but I will be soon. I love your faces. I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching this one. I know not a lot of people are going to watch it because nobody watches videos like this. So if you did, then you are my shining star. And I love your face. Bye.